My name is Eliza. I'm 28 years old, and I live in Portland. I work as a digital UX consultant, mostly remote, which means long hours and even longer silences. To most people, I'm just the quiet girl with the coffee mug, always one tab away from another client call. But to my family, I'm the invisible one, the independent one who doesn't need anyone, so they never bother to check in. The complete opposite of my younger sister, Ivy. She's 2 years younger than me, and somehow the golden child despite never finishing anything she starts. She's tried acting, yoga teaching, selling handmade candles, and now she calls herself a lifestyle content creator. Translation: she lives off my parents and makes TikToks about iced lattes and trauma healing. We were never that close, but we used to be civil, until last month. Until she took something private, something raw and painful, and blasted it across the internet for views. It started when I found out my boyfriend of 3 years, Darren, had been cheating on me. Not just a one-time thing, no, he had a whole second relationship going on in another city. I found out the day after Valentine's. He left his phone unlocked while taking a shower. I didn't go looking. I didn't want to find anything. But there it was. Messages, photos, hotel receipts, even a shared playlist called Our Escape. I didn't confront him right away. I sat in our living room, shaking, watching the rain paint streaks on the window. When he walked out of the bathroom and saw my face, he knew. He dropped the towel. Didn't say a word, just started crying. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just told him to leave. He begged. He dropped to his knees. I stayed silent. That night, I recorded a voice memo on my phone, just for myself, to get it all out, to process. I cried, ranted, even laughed bitterly halfway through. It was raw, but it was mine. The next day, I told Ivy. She was the first person I called. I thought maybe she'd just listen. Maybe, for once, she'd be the sister I needed. She said all the right things on the phone. "Oh my God, Eliza, that's insane. You're so strong for even telling me. I'm here if you need anything, okay?" It felt comforting, but what I didn't know was that Ivy had recorded the entire call. And 3 days later, she posted it as part of a Breakup confession series on her channel, complete with dramatic subtitles, stock footage, and the caption. My sister got cheated on, and what she said shocked me heartbreak. It got 2.4 million views in 4 days. I didn't even know it was out until a coworker messaged me. "Hey, is this you, flushed?" I clicked the link. There I was. My voice, my pain, my story, used as Ivy's content. And in the comments? Wow, her sister sounds so dramatic. She's definitely the toxic one in that relationship. Bet the guy cheated for a reason. I felt like the floor disappeared beneath me. Ivy had turned my heartbreak into entertainment. And that's when I knew. She didn't deserve silence. She deserved a mirror. Because while I had suffered quietly, Ivy had secrets of her own. And I had the footage to prove it. I didn't sleep that night. I watched the video 5 times. Each time, it hurt worse. Not just what I'd said, my voice shaking, my heartbreak laid bare, but the way Ivy edited it, the soft piano music in the background. The jump cuts time to my sobs. The thumbnail was the worst. A fake tear under her eye with the title, "Cheating is Never Okay. Why I Support My Sister Heartbreak." It was never about support. It was always about content. I called her the next morning. No hello. Just take the video down. She sounded groggy. Wait, what? Why? I gripped the phone tighter. You posted a private call without asking me. It's humiliating. She laughed. Eliza, chill, I didn't use your name. No one knows it's you, unless you tell them. Ivy, everyone knows your only sister is named Eliza. Don't play dumb. She scoffed. Honestly, you're overreacting. People loved it. I got so many DMs saying it helped them. I'm not your therapy project. Her voice turned cold. You're the one who called me crying. Don't blame me because people finally heard you. I hung up. I didn't trust myself to say another word. I thought she might come to her senses. She didn't. Instead, she posted a follow-up. Update. My sister is mad I shared her story, pensive face. But healing isn't linear. Healing? I wasn't healing. I was bleeding. And she was selling the blood. 3 days later, I got a DM. Anonymous. No profile pic. No followers. But the message made my stomach drop. Check your sister's healing videos. Bet she didn't tell you about Theo. Theo. The name hit me like a slap. Because Theo was Ivy's boyfriend. Well, public boyfriend. The one she made videos with. Q&As. Morning routine couple vlogs. Cringe couple dance trends. They'd been together for almost a year, at least online. But the name unlocked something. A memory. I remembered last summer, we were both at our cousin Mariah's engagement party. Ivy got drunk and disappeared. I'd found her in the garden, wrapped around a guy who definitely wasn't Theo. When I called her name, she jumped back like she'd touched a hot stove. Eliza, it's not what it looks like, she slurred. Really? Because it looks like cheating. She grabbed my wrist. You can't say anything, please. He's no one. I was drunk. Theo can't know. I didn't say anything. Not then. Not when she begged. Not when she promised it was a one-time mistake. I kept her secret. Because that's what sisters do. But now she had exposed me to millions, made my pain her brand. And something inside me snapped. Not in anger. In clarity. If Ivy wanted to build her empire off broken hearts, she should start with her own. I opened my old external hard drive. Years ago, I'd backed up footage from my freelance video editing days. Random projects, wedding edits, birthday parties, and one folder from Mariah's engagement, labeled Raw B-roll. I clicked it open, scrolled, stopped. There, a 17-second clip, shot by me, unedited, shaky, but clear. Ivy, in the garden, kissing a guy who wasn't Theo. From the angle, you could even hear her giggle. You can't post this anywhere. No one can know. Well, looks like someone forgot who was holding the camera. And this time? Can I? I wasn't deleting it. I stared at the video for a long time. No music, no editing, no captions, just Ivy. Drunk, laughing, tangled around someone who wasn't Theo. The guy's face was half-shadowed. But hers? Crystal clear. No mistaking it. I remembered filming that clip without thinking, just playing with my camera during the party. I hadn't even realized I caught them until later. I had buried it like everything else. Until now. I pulled the clip into my editing software, not because I wanted to ruin her, but because she'd already ruined me. And this wasn't revenge. It was balance. I trimmed the beginning and end, muted the background noise, added subtitles, just like she had. Her own words. You can't post this anywhere. No one can know. Irony works best when it writes itself. But I didn't post it right away. I wanted her to see what it felt like first. To feel that panic. The cold shock in your chest when someone steals your truth. So I made a new account. Anonymous. No name. No profile pic. Just a handle that read, @Mirror Content. Then I scheduled the video. Saturday. 6 p.m. Prime time for her audience. I knew her upload schedule better than she thought. I also knew she'd be going live on Instagram that evening. Something about a Q&A with her followers on how to move on after heartbreak. It was perfect. The hypocrisy, the timing, the symmetry. But I didn't stop there. Because when you post proof, people ask questions. And I had answers. I opened my phone and went into my notes app. Started typing a caption. This is Ivy from the Healing Channel. She's the one who shared her sister's breakup story without permission. But here's what she never told her followers. This was filmed while she was still with Theo. while she was making content about loyalty and truth, while she was selling a lie. I sat with it, let myself feel every part of it. I wasn't just angry, I was hurt, embarrassed, exposed. But I also wasn't afraid anymore. Because Ivy had taken something from me, something I could never get back. My choice. And now, I was giving her a taste of her own medicine. One dose. Not edited. Not sugar-coated. Just truth. Saturday came, 6 p.m. She went live. I watched it from my burner account. Ring light on. Makeup flawless. Voice soft and sweet. Hey guys! So today we're talking about heartbreak and growth. I hit publish, and in under 5 minutes, the video had 18K views. The comments were ruthless. Wait, isn't this the same girl who cried over her sister's breakup? Not the queen of healing out here cheating, LOL. She's a fraud. This is wild. And then, someone tagged Theo. Just like that, the match hit the gasoline, and the internet did what it does best. Burned. By 6:12 p.m., Ivy's live ended abruptly. No goodbye, no wrap-up. Just a frozen screen and the sound of her voice cracking mid-sentence. She had seen it. I knew she had. My phone buzzed seconds later. A call from her. I let it ring. Then another, then a text. Ivy, what the hell did you do? I didn't answer. Instead, I went to her Instagram page. She had posted a story, a black screen with white text. Some people will do anything for attention. Smearing others doesn't fix your own wounds. No apology. No denial. Just vague, victim-coded damage control. Classic Ivy. But the comments were piling up. On her most recent post, a carefully curated photo of her holding a cup of matcha. Caption, healing is messy, but honesty is power. Now filled with comments like, messy or just messy with other people's boyfriends? So honesty is power unless your sister needs it? Your sister deserved better. You're fake. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Until I remembered what she had done. Not just to me, but to Theo. I didn't know him well. Only met him once. Tall, polite. He brought wine to Christmas dinner and helped wash dishes without being asked. I remembered thinking, wow, finally, someone decent. And now he was finding out the truth the same way I had. Through a screen, through betrayal, through the person he trusted most. Around 8 p.m., Theo posted something to his stories. Just 3 words. Thanks for the clarity, and unfollowed Ivy. That was when everything really exploded. Ivy started messaging me nonstop. Long paragraphs. Caps lock. Voice notes full of fake tears and fake apologies. Why would you do this to me? You're my sister. You're destroying my life. And the one that made me laugh bitterly. You took this too far. Too far? She took my heartbreak and turned it into content. She humiliated me on a global stage. She let strangers mock me and said nothing. But now that her image was cracked, now it was too far, I finally texted back. 4 words. How does it feel? She didn't reply, but I saw her story come down. Then the comments started disappearing. Then her profile went private. Then she deactivated completely. Radio silence. For the first time in years, I went for a walk. No phone, no music, just the sound of my boots on pavement and the wind in my hair. For the first time in weeks, my chest didn't feel like it was caving in. I didn't feel embarrassed. I didn't feel weak. I felt clean, like I'd finally washed the last piece of her betrayal off my skin. When I got back home, I checked my burner account. The video? 500,000 views. Thousands of comments, half defending me, half attacking her, but all of them saying the same thing. This girl deserved better. And for once, I believed them. Because I did. I still do. And this time I wasn't going to let anyone rewrite that truth. Not even my sister. The next morning, I woke up to 92 notifications. Not from friends. Not from Ivy. From strangers. Comments. Mentions. Shares. I had become a trending topic. Not by name, but by story. People were calling me the sister. As in, the sister who exposed the influencer. Some were praising me. Others said I was just as bad. But the truth is, I didn't care what they thought. Because the one person I wanted to hear from finally reached out. Theo. It was a DM. Short. Polite. Direct. Theo. Hey, I know we don't know each other well, but I just wanted to say, thank you. I stared at the screen. Thank you. He didn't have to say anything. He had every right to vanish. To block both of us. To disappear into quiet, private heartbreak. But he didn't. He sent kindness instead. I replied, I'm sorry you had to find out like that. You didn't deserve it. He responded almost instantly. Neither did you. We didn't keep talking. Just that. A mutual acknowledgement. Of pain, of betrayal, of survival. By noon, Ivy still hadn't resurfaced. No posts, no texts, no new uploads, just a digital ghost. And as much as I wanted to feel satisfied, there was an ache. Not for her, but for the version of her I used to hope existed. The sister who'd pick up when I was crying. The one who wouldn't weaponize my heartbreak. The one who never showed up. Later that evening, I got a message from our mom. I hadn't spoken to her in weeks. She never reached out after the breakup. But now, suddenly, she had time. Mom, Eliza, your sister is devastated. You need to take that video down. I stared at it, laughed even. Not, are you okay? Not, how are you holding up? Just another defense of Ivy. Like always. I didn't respond. 10 minutes later, she called. I let it go to voicemail. Then, curiosity won. I listened. Hi, honey. I know things got a little messy, but family is family. Ivy's made mistakes, but so have you. It's not right to air these things online. Because when Ivy aired my life online, it was healing. But when I did it, Hafio, it was betrayal. That night, I wrote something, not a script, not a video, just a letter to myself. A reminder. I'd spent years shrinking for other people, letting them narrate my story, letting them define my tone, my volume, my pain. But not anymore. I didn't need 1 million views. I didn't need to go viral. I just needed truth. And maybe a little peace. I deleted the burner account. The video had done its job. I wasn't looking for clout. I just wanted to reclaim the one thing Ivy had stolen. My voice. A week passed. No video from Ivy, no new posts, no apology, just silence. And then, Sunday afternoon, I got a text from my dad. Dad, dinner at 6, come over, we need to talk. No hello, no question. Just a directive, like always. I stared at it for a while. I hadn't been to that house in almost 3 months. Not since before Darren. Before the video. Before everything. Part of me wanted to ignore it. Part of me wanted to go and see if maybe, just maybe, they'd finally hear me. But I knew better. This wasn't about resolution. It was about control. Still, curiosity dragged me there. I parked down the street, gave myself a few minutes in the car, then walked to the door. It was already open. Typical. In my family, privacy was only respected after public shame. Inside, the kitchen smelled like overcooked chicken and tension. My mom was setting the table. My dad stood at the counter with his arms crossed. And Ivy sat at the head of the table, eyes swollen, not a trace of makeup. She looked like a stranger. Or maybe this was the real her, minus the filters. No one said hello. I pulled out a chair and sat down. My mom spoke first. Eliza, honey, we just want to clear the air. It's gone too far. I said nothing. She continued. Ivy made a mistake. A big one. But she didn't deserve to be humiliated like that. Still, I stayed silent. Then Ivy spoke. Soft, broken, rehearsed. I'm sorry for posting the video without your consent. I don't know. I thought it would help people. She looked down. A tear slid down her cheek. I didn't expect it to blow up like that. I didn't mean to hurt you. My dad cut in. But this retaliation, that's not who we raised you to be. And there it was, the real reason I was here. Not for apology, not for understanding, but to be corrected. I finally spoke. Who you raised me to be? You mean the daughter who keeps quiet and cleans up after her sister's messes? My mom flinched. My dad scowled. Eliza, this isn't productive. I leaned forward. No, what's not productive is letting someone betray you and then pretending it's your job to make peace. I looked at Ivy. She couldn't meet my eyes. I kept your secret, Ivy. That night in the garden? I said nothing. I could have told Theo months ago. But I didn't. Silence. I stood up. I'm done being the quiet one, the safe one, the cleanup crew. I looked at each of them, one by one. I'm not here to fix this. I'm here to say goodbye. And then I walked out. No shouting, no plates thrown, no dramatic slamming of doors, just the sound of my footsteps. The first time they'd truly heard me. 2 days passed, no texts, no calls, no more family meetings, just silence, exactly how I liked it. Then came an email. Not from Ivy, not from my parents, from a journalist. Subject line: request for comment. Viral video feud between influencer sisters. I stared at the screen. My stomach sank. They knew. They'd connected the dots. Inside the message: Hi Eliza, I'm writing a piece on the recent viral incident involving your sister's video and the follow-up clip that was posted anonymously. Multiple sources have identified you as the person behind the exposure. We'd like your side of the story. I didn't reply. Not right away. I just sat there, rereading it again and again. And then my phone buzzed. Another message. Ivy, if you care at all, you'll ignore that reporter. No hi. No please. Just a command, wrapped in guilt. I didn't respond. Instead, I opened my cloud drive. Ivy had forgotten something. She always did. The internet doesn't forget. And neither did I. There was another video. One she thought I deleted, one I'd filmed as backup. Just in case. It wasn't just the garden kiss. It was the aftermath. Her laughing with the guy, saying his name, bragging. Honestly, Theo thinks I'm at my cousin's house. I told him I had food poisoning. He believes anything if I say it's sweet enough. Her words, not mine. I had saved it in a separate folder, marked Do Not Use. But now, it wasn't about revenge. It was about truth. She'd started this fire, and now she wanted to pretend it was smoke from somewhere else. I didn't send it to the journalist. Not yet. But I wrote them back. Just one line. If you're going to write about it, make sure you're telling the whole story, not just the viral part. They replied instantly. Would you be open to speaking on record, even anonymously? I said no, then yes, then changed my mind again. Because deep down, I didn't want to be known for this. I wanted to be known for something real, something that was actually mine. So I sent a statement. No names, no clips, just my words. People think silence means weakness, but sometimes silence is survival. I stayed quiet to protect someone who never protected me. She took my voice, so I borrowed hers to show the truth. Not for fame, not for followers, but so someone, somewhere, would finally stop shrinking for the sake of peace. Because peace without respect is just a quiet war. They printed the story. It went live within hours. No photos, no names. But the readers knew. And more importantly, so did she. The article dropped on a Thursday morning. By lunchtime, it was all over Twitter. Reddit picked it up within the hour. Subreddits dedicated to influencer drama dissected every sentence. One comment stood out. Funny how the one who preached healing was the one causing the wounds. Ivy's name wasn't mentioned. Mine wasn't either. But anyone who followed her knew. And now they knew the other side. The side without lighting filters. Without curated tears. Just truth. Around 3 p.m., she finally messaged me. This time, it wasn't angry. It wasn't performative. It was short. Ivy, you ruined me. I stared at those 3 words, and for a split second I felt something. Not guilt, not victory, just a cold kind of clarity. I typed back. You posted my heartbreak. You mocked my pain. You used me. She responded instantly. I didn't think it'd go viral. I didn't think people would care. And there it was again, not an apology, a deflection. So I said the only thing that mattered. You didn't think, and that's the problem. No response. She left me on read. For the first time in weeks. Fine by me. But what I didn't expect was what came next. An email from a company I recognized. Her brand deal. One of her sponsors. They'd CC'd the wrong address. Mine. Probably meant to forward to someone else. The subject line? Terminate Ivy's contract effective immediately. I read the thread. They'd seen the article. They'd seen the video. They wanted distance. It wasn't joy I felt. It was a strange stillness. The kind that follows a storm. Later that night, Theo messaged again. Theo, she called me. Cried for 2 hours. Said you destroyed her career. I replied carefully. She destroyed her own career. I just held up a mirror. He didn't argue. Didn't defend her. Instead, he said something I didn't expect. I think she needed to be exposed. You were the only one who could. We didn't say much after that. And honestly, we didn't need to. He had seen her up close, he knew. The next morning, Ivy's account disappeared, deleted. No goodbye, no final post, just gone. The girl who once posted 5 times a day had vanished. A few days later, our mom called again. I didn't answer. This time, no voicemail. Maybe she knew I wouldn't listen. Maybe she was tired of pretending this was something I'd fix. And honestly, for once, I didn't feel responsible. I wasn't the villain. I wasn't the fixer. I wasn't anything but free. Ivy disappeared from social media for 3 weeks. No updates. No cryptic stories. No soft-lit selfies or staged tears. Just silence. It was louder than any of her videos had ever been. Then, one afternoon, I got a letter. A real letter. Envelope. Stamp. Handwritten. I recognized the handwriting instantly. Curvy, dramatic, a little childish. Ivy's. I almost didn't open it, but something about it felt final. Inside was a folded sheet of lined paper. No glitter pens, no hearts over the eyes. Just ink. Eliza, I don't know how to start this, because every version I write sounds fake. And you've had enough fake from me to last a lifetime. So here's the truth. I used you. You were hurting. And I saw an opportunity. I told myself it was helping you, that it would give your pain a purpose. But really, I just wanted attention. I thought if I made your story mine, I'd finally be seen as authentic. But the only thing real in that video was your voice. And I stole it. I paused reading. My chest tightened. I hadn't expected this. Not from her. You didn't ruin me. I was already ruining myself. I thought I could control the narrative. But the truth is louder than edits. You didn't scream. You didn't curse. You just showed the truth. And that silence wrecked me more than any viral clip could. The bottom of the letter was stained. A drop of something. Maybe a tear. Or just coffee. Knowing Ivy, it could have been either. I don't expect you to forgive me. I just needed to say it. For real. For once. Thank you for finally saying no. I needed to hear it. Even if it cost me everything. Ivy, I folded the letter slowly. My hands didn't shake. I didn't cry. Not because I didn't feel anything, but because something inside me had settled. like a weight had finally decided it wasn't mine to carry anymore. I put the letter in a drawer, not to keep it, not to treasure it, just to remind myself of the turning point, of the day the girl who always needed the spotlight finally understood what it felt like to sit in the dark. Later that week, I walked past a bookstore downtown. In the window was a display of journals. One caught my eye. Black leather, gold embossed title, Write Your Own Story. I walked in and bought it. Not for content, not for drama, just for me. Because from here on out, I would never let someone else hold the pen again. Spring arrived quietly. The kind of quiet that doesn't beg to be noticed. It just settles in, soft and slow, like the first morning without grief. The noise had died down. No new mentions, no trending hashtags, just life, moving on. Ivy stayed off social media. No comeback post, no rebrand, no teary-eyed explanation. She disappeared like a page torn from a journal, and in her absence, I began to hear myself again. I started writing every night. Not for anyone else. Not for clicks. Just the truth. Even the ugly parts. Especially the ugly parts. There was something sacred about it. Putting things down on paper no one would ever read. Not to prove anything, but to let them go. One evening, I got another message from Theo. It had been over a month since we last spoke. Theo, I heard you're writing. I hope it's helping. I told him it was. He said he was too. Healing, that is. Turns out healing doesn't come in viral quotes or pastel graphics. It comes in quiet decisions. Choosing to walk away. Choosing to stay gone. Choosing not to answer when someone calls just to drag you back into the wreckage. I never told him how much that message meant. Maybe I didn't need to. Some people say everything without saying much at all. Like him. Like me. A few weeks later, I saw Ivy. Unexpected. At a farmer's market. She was with someone. Not Theo. No makeup. No camera. Just Ivy. She saw me. I saw her. She nodded. I nodded back. No words. None needed. I walked past her stall. She was selling candles again. The tag on one said, "Still growing." I didn't buy it. But I didn't scoff either. Growth looks different for everyone. Sometimes it's a flame. Sometimes it's just surviving the smoke. That night, I opened my journal, wrote the final page. I used to think my silence made me safe. But now I know it just made me small. This isn't about revenge. It never was. It's about voice and choice. And finally learning that being quiet and being kind are not the same thing. I don't need applause. I don't need forgiveness. I just need to be free. I closed the journal, set it on the windowsill. The wind outside was soft, unbothered. And for the first time since everything happened, so was I. I poured a glass of wine, turned on music, and let myself dance alone in the living room. No cameras, no sister, no script, just me, and peace, and the quiet I had earned. What do you think about Eliza's decision? Was she too harsh, or was this the only way to truly protect herself? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more heartfelt stories about complicated family.